1,284 divided by 12. So they're 1, 2, 8, 4 goes in there, and the 12 goes out the front. Once again, I need to deal with this column by column. Now in this column here, I can't get any lots of 12 out of 1. So I'm simply going to put a 0 up the top here, and I'm going to leave that now and move on to the next column. Now this, where I'm up to is here, the 2. So I need to read this and everything else to the left of it as a number that I'm going to use to divide. So this is actually a 12, the 2 and the 1 making up a 12. How many 12s in 12? Well, there's 1. So again, now that I've got a digit up the top here, I multiply this by this and I write down the result here. Now, top minus bottom is obviously going to give me 0 in both columns there. So continuing the dotted line across, I copy everything that hasn't been used yet down onto the next line. Now let's have a look at this next column here where the 8 is. So if I have a look at the 8 here, there's nothing else in front of it, so it's just a plain 8. How many lots of 12 can I get out of 8? Well, I can't get any. So just like before, I'm going to skip this column and move on to the next one, but I'm going to put a 0 in the place that I've skipped. So now we leave that column and move on to the next one. Alright, so here we are. I'm using this as my last digit of the number, so I'm looking at 84 here. So I ask myself, how many lots of 12 going to 84? 7 lots of 12 going to 84. I multiply the 7 by the 12, and I write that product down here. Then I do top minus bottom, and lo and behold, I've got 0. So I've got no remainder here, and so the answer is 107. No remainder. I can put remainder 0 if I want, or no remainder if I like. Let's have a look at one that does have a remainder. So this one, the 973 being the first number, goes in there, strange looking 7, and the 15 goes out the front. Doing it column by column. So we'll do this column first, where the 9 is. How many 15s can I get out of 9? Well, I can't get any. So I just leave that column and I move over to the next one. Now I've got 97, because this is the last digit of the number and everything else to the left of it is part of the number. 97. How many 15s in 97? Well, there are 6 whole lots of 15 in 97. 6 times 15 is 90. Now if I do top minus bottom here, I end up with 7 here. Carry this across the dotted line, bring this 3 down to there. Okay, moving on. Next column. Now, this is the last digit, which means this is part of it as well. I'm now looking at 73. So how many 15s can I get out of 73? Well, 5 15s are 75. That's going too far. So 4 15s is the maximum I can get out of that. We multiply this by this, and we get 60. Now, if I do top minus bottom here, I end up with... And because I've reached the end of the original question here, I've finished, and the last part here, the result of the subtraction, is my remainder. So I've got 64, remainder 13. Great.